Welcome back to this edition of On Every Front, showcasing our citizen soldiers and airmen as they answer our nation's call to duty. I'm your host, Army National Guard Sergeant First Class Robert Stevenson. In the months and years following the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, National Guardsmen have been deployed for up to a year, and sometimes longer, in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Well, at the same time, they've been mobilized for weeks and months at a time in support of natural disasters, such as Hurricanes Katrina and Sandy, wildfires in the Midwest, tornadoes in the heartland, and floods throughout the United States. Now, employers, used to losing guardsmen for maybe 2 to 3 weeks at a time prior to 9/11, have now had to contend with losing citizen soldiers and airmen for much longer periods of time and at a greater rate. These extended absences placed a greater burden on the employers than had been anticipated prior to the war on terror. Enter the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve.
Employer Support of the Guard is quite a unique organization. It's unique because the real power and synergy of the organization rests in the communities of America, along with the 4,900 volunteers. That is our template. Those 4,900 volunteers are supported by a couple of hundred full-time individuals that do some administrative work and do some ombudsman services. But for the most part, this unique organization is a volunteer organization. But it's a volunteer organization that's community-based, where it can do the most good. It's based where the need is and where the need can be addressed.
I got to tell you, the support of the employers is so hugely critical to the success of the Guard. And let's not forget about our families. I mean, that cannot be understated, the sacrifices that they make. But our employers are a big part of the equation as well.
ESGR is a Department of Defense office that was established in 1972. It promotes cooperation and understanding between service members and their civilian employers. It assists in conflict resolution on issues that service members may have with their employers, and it also plays an important role in educating employers as far as what service members are involved with and exposed to during periods of duty.
Everyone that I've encountered and I've worked with is very supportive, and just give them a little bit of predictability so they know when and can plan for it, and they're absolutely on board.
ESGR has been extremely busy since 9/11. The education process, the working with employers, educating employers, and also educating service members that they have a definite responsibility to keep their employers informed as of when they mobilize, when they're demobilizing, stay in contact with them even while they're mobilized, and if they have some special needs while they're mobilized, that the employer perhaps can help along with their community.
I know that it is extremely important for the soldiers and the airmen or military service members in general to know that their employers care.
The National Guard spearheaded the movement for boss lifts using Black Hawk helicopters. And one of the models that has worked tremendously successful is to take a group of employers out in the morning to a local training area to watch and observe and perhaps wear some of the uniform items that soldiers wear or airmen wear, and see what it is like walking in our guardsmen's shoes.
I definitely really do appreciate this opportunity to be here during this boss lift there, and would encourage everybody to do it, and hopefully I'll be able to do it again in the future. I'll definitely be signing up again if I get the opportunity.
We've got a smaller and smaller percentage of individuals that have served in uniform today. We really have to continue, even as we draw down our forces, we have to continue to educate not only the public, but the employers also on a continual basis, to let them know what it's all about in the reserve component, and particularly in the Army and the Air National Guard.
In the final analysis, ESGR has been there in support of the soldier and the airman, as well as the employer, as the National Guard has transitioned from a strategic reserve to an operational force. At National Guard Bureau Headquarters, thanks again for watching this edition of On Every Front.